Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. In today's Pick a Card reading, we are looking at a decision that you need to make, and we're going to explore two options. So what I mean by exploring two options is once you pick your pile and then we're into your reading, I'm going to have a row on top for your first decision and then a row on bottom for your second decision. So all you need to do before we actually get into your individual readings is decide, do you like so if you have two options, option number A and option number B, which one do you want in the first position up here? And then put the other one down here. And we're going to see what would happen if you went with decision number 1 and what would happen if you went with decision number 2. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So once you choose your card, you can find the timestamps in the description box below, which will take you directly to your reading. And if you want to book a private reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is also in the description box below. Let's get your cards for you. Okay, we are looking at a decision that pile number 1 needs to make. Can we have a card, please? Okay, a decision that pile number 2 needs to make. And a decision that pile number 3 needs to make. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at your cards. Pile number 1, you have the Merlin, Guidance, Mentorship, Teacher of the Old Ways, and your stone is Cinnabrite. Okay, and the number is 33. Pile number 2, you have Into the Woods, Stranger in a Strange Land, New Experiences, Feeling Uncertain, Transition Zone, number 29, and you have the Milky Quartz stone. Oops, I'm sorry, let's fix that first. Okay, pile number 3. You have Fairy Tales, Letting Go, Detachment, Moving On, and you have number 19, and your stone is the Snowflake Obsidian. Okay, please take as long as you need to choose your card or cards, and I will see you in your readings. Well, let me fix these for you. I think they're a little crooked. Okay, there you go. I'll see you in your readings. Hello, pile number 1. You have the Cinnabrite stone, and your card is the Merlin, Guidance, Mentorship, Teacher of the Old Ways. So I feel like there are 2 different options that you can choose from, and I feel like they're very similar. And I say that because the number 33. So I feel like this decision for you is going to be very, very difficult. And I feel like you're doing everything you can. With the globe here, I feel like you've done everything you can. You're kind of looking at all angles trying to make this decision. And I feel like you're still kind of stuck, not sure which way to go. Now, I do feel like there is something that will stand out between the 2 options. And I say that because you have this little fairy down here. And then you have the 2 up here. So it seems like there's an element or an aspect of one of them that will be your determining factor. So that's what we're going to look at today. With Guidance and Mentorship, Teacher of the Old Ways, I feel like you might be trying to make a decision between doing something a traditional way and doing something differently. So maybe everybody in your family went into a certain type of career, and maybe you're thinking about kind of branching out from that and doing something different. So that's just one example, just to give you kind of an idea of what I'm seeing here. Excuse me. And so that's basically what I see here with this card. So what I'm going to do with your oracle cards is we're going to choose oracle cards for the first pile. So your tarot cards are going to be down here. So before we start, I want you to designate for your first, which of your options is going to be the first one that's going to go in the first row here, and then the first row of oracle cards up here. And then I want you to designate for the second row down here which decision is going to go here, and then that would be your corresponding oracle cards on this side. So go ahead and do that before we get started. And we are now ready to choose your oracle cards, and I'm going to leave them face down until I get all of them. Okay, so then I'm going to turn them over. Okay. So we are looking at pile number 1 and a decision that they need to make. Can we have a card or 2 cards for their first decision, please? Okay. Can we have 2 cards for their second decision, please? Okay, and I'm going to get your other oracle cards so we can kind of look at them all together. Okay, can we have some cards for the first decision, please? Can we have 2 cards for the second decision, please? Okay, now for the second decision, I'm going to set these to the side, and we will look at these once we start with your second row of tarot cards down here. Okay, so we're going to look at these now. Okay, so we have moving on up. So I feel with the first decision that either you think you'll be moving up or you will be moving up. I feel like I feel strongly that you will be moving up with this first decision. I do feel that with this decision, as narrow as this looks, I feel like there is a straight path ahead. Like everything's planned out. There really isn't room for deviation. It's kind of black and white. And I do feel that there's a bit of mystery though. I feel like there's a certain element that you're not sure about with this particular decision. So I think that this is really important because remember when we were looking at the Merlin card, I said I feel like there is a certain thing that will be a determining factor for you, and I'm seeing that here. This path looks very structured. So is that good for you? Is it going to be too structured for you? Do you work better that way when things are very, very structured? Because if so, this could be the perfect option for you. Let's get this over here so we have enough room. Okay. Oh, then we have bittersweet, 80% cocoa. Look at that. Look how, remember I said there's like something here that you're not sure about, and now look at this. It's like, I feel like you would be giving up something in order to go this way. So in order to move upward, so does this have something to do with your career or with school or something like that, because with these buildings, these don't look to me, well, I mean, I suppose it depends where you live, but the energy that I'm getting from these buildings is more kind of office space opposed to like residential. So I'm feeling like this has something to do with work, and maybe you have this amazing opportunity that you can take. However, you feel like you have to give something up in order to take this option, even though this looks like an amazing opportunity. It's this one element here that you're unsure about, which is what I was talking about in this card. I feel like this option is 80% positive, 20% questionable. So we're going to get more details on that as we go along. So we have Swan, Awaken Artistic Spirit. So I'm getting that you feel that taking option number one, or Spirit is showing us that taking option number one, you will be able to really work on some skills that you have. Like you'll really be able to perfect these skills. It will, even though it seems pretty structured, it's still allowing you, I believe, room to grow, room to learn. You may even have a mentor or a teacher or something that will really inspire you. So this is very positive. However, so basically what I'm seeing here is like you taking a job in another city, which is an amazing, amazing, amazing opportunity. However, you would be giving up the comfort zone of, what you're used to. Your friends and family may not be living there, and so it's making you feel very uncomfortable. We have Macaw, Celebrate the Power of Expression. Okay, there's definitely something going on here where you feel that you would be able to really grow a lot. Definitely growing a lot, moving up, being productive. Advancing in your career, making huge connections, advancements, things like that. And I think that you're feeling very positive about this, that you think it's a great decision, but what's holding you up is this piece right here. So what I'm going to do now is look at your tarot cards. Okay, so we are first going to excuse me, we're first going to look at the option number one here. Okay. Okay, so can you tell us, please, for pile number one, what would it look like? What would happen? And how would pile number one feel if they go with this option? Okay. I'm not sure why I said pile number three. We haven't even gotten there yet. Maybe you're supposed to watch that one too. I'm not sure, but anyway. So we have the Knight of Cups. So I feel that if you go with the first option, I feel that yes, it would be bittersweet. It would be a little bit painful, but this is you really, really going after something that you're passionate about. So passionate about this particular option. I feel that you would be dedicated the whole way through. Even if it is a little bit painful to walk away from something else, I feel that it would be very fulfilling for you and that you would see it through. And also, the other thing that's interesting with the Knight of Cups is that the Cups cards, the cup suit is artistic. It is expressive. It is creative. Okay. It's also very psychic. So you might be feeling more called to option number one than option number two. We'll see as we go along, but I definitely see you kind of making a decision. If you go with number 1, making a decision, feeling confident about that, and going forward to achieve your goals. Okay. Okay, so we have the 6 of Cups. I feel like this is something that you've had your eye on. You've wanted to pursue this particular path for a while. There could even be people that you know regarding decision number 1. Like, let's say if you have to move somewhere, there could be people in that location that you know, or people that you feel comfortable with. Or once you get there, you will kind of find your family, like your work family, your friends, your chosen family. I feel like this would be a very close-knit group of people. I feel like even though it seems pretty structured, I feel like you would still have the freedom to shine. So this could be a very structured situation, but you can still show your personality. You can still have, creative expression. And I think it would also really fulfill something that you've wanted to do for a while, like this lifelong dream you've had, or, something kind of in that same context. And I think it would be a lot of fun for you too. Even though it would be a little bittersweet, I think that you would get acclimated to this new situation. And I feel so far that you would be pretty happy. You might be a little homesick if it does have something to do with moving, or maybe you're not even moving. Maybe you're leaving, like if you're with a current company and maybe you have another job offer, maybe you really are worried about making that change and what's going to happen. I feel like, yes, it will be bittersweet for you, but maybe it's time for you to move on from your past also. This could also be this could be indicating where you are right now, that you've been somewhere for a while, you're really comfortable there, you enjoy the people that you're around or what you're doing or whatever the situation is, and then that's why it would be bittersweet for you. But so far I see it working out for you. Oh, definitely it would work out for you. You have the 9 of Cups. This would definitely work out for you. You would have great success here. You would feel accomplished. You would be accomplishing your dreams. You would feel like you've grown a lot, like you've had a lot of growth, that you definitely did move up towards your dreams, accomplishing your dreams, feeling successful. And also there's more ahead after you reach this huge milestone. There's more after that. I see a lot of transformation in you, a lot of growth. I see other people seeing this transformation and growth within you as well. And accomplishment after accomplishment after accomplishment, okay? Just like climbing that ladder up and up and up and up. I see this being worth it. We have the 4 of Swords. With the 4 of Swords, I'm getting a couple things. I'm feeling like don't rush into a decision. I'm feeling like you need to make sure that you're comfortable with this piece here, with this piece here, and the one here. So make sure that you go into this, that your decision is complete. That you don't just say, I know there's a missing piece, or I'm going to have to give something up here, or this cloud here. Yeah, it's covering something there, but I think it's going to be okay. Spirit is saying, make sure that you take the time to make sure that you are okay with whatever this is here. Is there a little detail that you don't know about? Figure it out first. Do you need to ask someone a question? Do that first, okay? So don't rush into anything. Also, don't stress about it. If this is the decision that you make, Accept that for what it is and go forward boldly, because I see you having incredible success there. The Lover's card. I mean, seriously, we're talking about success and you get the Lover's card. Incredible success. You coming together with people, things, places, whatever it is, with great success. It's a perfect match. So, oh, look at, you have swans here and you have a swan here. I just realized that. And then look, you also have 3 little fairies here. So, you know what I'm getting here? Okay. If you're moving for a job, because that's like what I see here, is that this is somehow work related to school. Maybe you're trying to choose between 2 schools that you want to go to, or maybe you feel like, I need to get out of where I'm living right now. I want to move across the country. I want to move to a different country, whatever it is. Or just maybe you want to move to a different city. Excuse me. And you're thinking like, I don't know exactly what it is. That could be the cloud here. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I need to make this move. I feel like I need to take this option here. What I'm seeing is whatever it is. So let's just say that you want to move somewhere for a new job. Okay. Then that could be this swan here. Okay. Moving for a new job. And you find great success with that. But the other thing that I'm seeing here with the Lover's card is that you could meet your special person. You could meet your life partner, your future spouse. And of course, this is if you're single. If you are not single, and even if you are single, then I still see what I'm about to say applying in both cases. I see that if you're going to take a chance on a new job, I see you being very successful with that. I see that you and your employer, or you moving there to start a business or whatever it is, I see it being absolutely perfect. I mean, of course, you may have some differences here and there, but I see it being the perfect pair of people, places, things, situations, whatever it is. Things coming together perfectly here. Okay, then we have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, so you feel like this is a great idea. It is a great idea. It will take you to new places. It will take you to new heights, okay? Moving up, moving forward. It will allow you to really come into the person that you're supposed to be. With the Celebrate the Power of Expression, it will allow you to kind of spread your wings and fly and become that person that you're supposed to be. It's a great idea. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring your tarot cards over, but we're first going to look at these cards. Now we're going to move into the second option. Okay, so for the second option, your first card is Injustice. So already for the second option, I'm seeing some sort of imbalance. I'm seeing something, I'm seeing you putting a lot of effort into something, but not getting anything in return. Something's off balance here. And I mean, I just don't think that would make you happy. I don't know that that would make anyone happy. It's like putting all your eggs into one basket, or putting your all into something and then kind of waiting for a return to come in. And you're just kind of waiting and waiting and waiting. Ooh, we have Rescue. Yeah. You're waiting. Remember I told you you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. In this card, you're waiting. You're waiting. Okay. Now, off in the distance, excuse me, there is a boat here. But does the boat see you? Because it kind of looks to me like the boat's going this direction, but you're down here. So the boat actually needs to be coming this direction. And you're kind of just there on this island by yourself dealing with this injustice. And there's a cloud here. Look at that. So maybe the cloud in the first part that might be you thinking, did I make the right decision, or should I have gone with option number 2 because there's a cloud here? That could be what that cloud was. Okay, let's see what else we have here. We have owl activate psychic insight. So what I'm going to say here is that it feels like you already kind of have, remember I think I said that here, with one decision, you might kind of have an idea that one's better than the other, or there might be one factor that really draws you to one option versus the other. Listen to that. Your psychic abilities are very important right now with making this decision. There seems to be something that's kind of ungrounding about the second option. Something about it doesn't quite, it's like I feel like I'm off balance. Let's scoot these over just a little bit so we can get your cards here so you can see all of them. Okay. Skunk, set healthy boundaries. Yeah. You need to set healthy boundaries, or you would need to set healthy boundaries with the second option, because it would be unequal. It would create some sort of imbalance. You would be left feeling alone. Your defenses probably need to be up. And I feel like if you go into the second option, you would feel like you got sprayed by a skunk, okay? I don't know if you've ever smelled a skunk, but it is not pleasant. And I really feel that that's how you would feel with the second option. I think I'm going to leave that there because I have actually encountered a skunk before and it was not fun. So I'm just going to leave it there. Now, let's look at your tarot cards. Okay, for pile number 1, we are looking, I feel like these 2 cards are important, so let's pull those out. We are looking at option number 2. Option number 2. Okay, let's look at these 2 first. We have the 4 of Rods, so, which is the 4 of Wands. I feel like, excuse me. See, I can tell the way that my throat is getting a little, like I need to cough. That happens when something's stuck, when something's, like when I'm doing readings, when like there's energy that's stuck or something is, like you're worried about something. That's what's happening now. So, again, I'm going to say this. I think that the 2 situations look similar, because if you look at this card moving up and you look at this card, they're similar, right? This looks like a good option, but is the path a good option? Okay, so the destination looks good, but do you know all of the details about how you get to that destination? Because something about the second pile doesn't sit right with me. So let's see. I'm going to come back to this card, but let's go ahead and move on now and see. You know what I feel like with the Chariot card? I feel like somehow option number 2 would be taking you away from your goal somehow. Normally, the Chariot card is a very positive card. However, when I pair the Chariot card, see, so is the 4 of Wands. That's also a positive card. But when we pair these things with Injustice, Rescue, and Skunk, I'm feeling like something looks good on the surface, but when you get into the details, which is the path that we see here, can you see that there's actually a windy path? And you can't even see part of the path here. there, because the path goes all the way up to this house, the castle, whatever this is here, but there's a piece of it that you can't see here. Okay, that's what's making me worry. There's something about option number 2 that you can't see yet. I feel like it would become very difficult for you. I feel that you might feel isolated. And I feel like, so the Chariot card is usually a difficult, like you're accomplishing something and it's difficult, but in the end it will be all worth it. Which might be the case. We'll look at your other cards here, but I feel like it, for one reason or another, will be more difficult than option number 1 up here. We have the Queen of Cups. Okay, with the Queen of Cups, I feel like you will still get to your destination with pile number 2, with option number 2. You will still get to your destination. You can still find happiness with option number 2. However, the road to the end, to your goal, I feel like there's some sort of hiccups, some sort of injustice that you will need to be rescued from. Like these setting healthy boundaries, I feel like it will create a lot of extra work that is not only not necessary, but that does not appear in your first option here. Okay. We have the 9 of Pentacles. This is so interesting to me. So you have the 9 of Pentacles down here, and you have the 9 of Cups up here. Yes, you will be successful with either option. And I think that has more to do with you than the particular situation that you would be going into. So you will be successful. However, I feel with option number 1, I feel like that's where your mentor is coming in. That's where you have your soul family, your friendships, your lifelong connections. That's where you meet these special people. And with option number 2, yes, you're going to be successful. It's going to be more of a struggle, and you're going to be doing it more on your own. So it's like option number 1, you're going to have help. You're going to have great people around you, people who want to see you successful. Option number 2 could be more kind of competitive, maybe. I'm getting like cutthroat, kind of like a lot of competition, everyone out for themselves. Something about it literally just kind of stinks. Could be something about the place. It could be the people. Something about it is, and I think skunks are adorable. I love them. They're so cute, but there's an element to skunks that literally stinks, right? So there's a lot of caution with option number 2 that I don't see with option number 1. Okay, we have you have the Justice card, you have Injustice. With option number 2, there's something that you would need to fix. Something will become off balance and you're going to need to fix it. Just like if you get sprayed by a skunk, you can't just go about your day. Okay, not only do you need to shower and hopefully wash your clothes and get the smell out of your clothes, but let's say if your dog got sprayed by a skunk and then your dog goes inside the house, your house is going to smell. So you're going to need to air out your house, right? So it's creating a huge problem that did not need to be there. Because if you didn't encounter the skunk, they wouldn't have sprayed you, right? Or if the skunk didn't wander into your yard or whatever, then it wouldn't have gotten scared and it wouldn't have sprayed you. So you're still going to be okay. You just need to clean up the mess. So you will be able to fix the situation with the Justice card here, but it's just kind of an unnecessary mess that you're going to have to deal with. And we have the Tower card. There's something about this option that is just not stable. Something about it. See, it looks stable, but it's not. It looks like it, but it's not. We're starting with the Four of Wands, which is a very stable, structured card. But there's an injustice that comes in, and something about the, you know what, I'm almost feeling like what Spirit is telling me is that if you go with option number 2, it's going to look so similar to option number 1. It may even take you to a similar location. Like, let's say if you're trying to choose what school to go to, okay? And you choose option number 2 instead of option number 1. You may still get the same education, you know, for the most part, in either location. And this is just an example to give you kind of an idea of how to apply it to your particular situation. So you get the same education. However, you go through some very unnecessary things, very, very unnecessary things that you need to be rescued from. You need to right the injustices, these things that happened, which you can get through. You will be able to fix these things. However, it's not as stable as it looks. And I'm almost feeling like if you go through this whole process, you choose option number 2, I almost feel like this Justice card, which is right below the Lovers card, would almost, when the Tower card happens, because the Tower card is things unexpectedly not working, things unexpectedly happening that kind of change your direction in life. And I'm feeling like if you go with option number 2, it's for some reason not going to work out. And it's almost like you go back and you're almost going to option number 1. So it's almost like you would end up in option number 1 anyway. So I hope that makes sense for you. Yeah, it's like you might just end up back where you started, and then you're like, oh, I should have gone with option number 1. I wonder if I can still do that now. So it's basically almost like option number 2 is a waste of time, because you would still end up where you're supposed to be, which is kind of like this option number 1 up here, but you would still go through option number 2 just to have it not work out, and then you might go with option number 1 anyway. So I hope that makes sense to you. And I hope this gave you some insight. If you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe. And if you would ever like a private reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is listed or linked in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, pile number 2. You have the Milky Quartz stone. And your card is Into the Woods, Stranger in a Strange Land, New Experiences, Feeling Uncertain, and Transition Zone. So with you, pile number 2, I feel like you have 2 options in front of you. Obviously, that's what we're looking at. But I feel with the tree here and the tree here, I feel like this is a decision to stay where you are or go on to something else. So should you leave your comfort zone or should you stay in your comfort zone is what I feel. I feel that's what's going on here. And also this fairy, you can see the wings here. It's kind of like, should I spread my wings or should I stay? And you have the little bunny here. So it's like, really listening to, okay, I feel like you're not sure if you should like jump into something, or if you feel like you're not being cautious enough, like you don't want to just jump into something without knowing how it's going to look. Okay, so that is what we are going to explore today. So let me just remind you, what I'm going to do is take cards for option number 1, and we're going to, for your oracle cards, we're going to put those here. And I'm also going to take cards for option number 2, which we're going to put up here, but at first I'm just going to set them aside because we're going to look at option number 1 first. So if you haven't already chosen which of your decisions is going to be option number 1, I'm going to put your tarot cards here for option number 1, and I'm going to put your tarot cards for option number 2 down here. Okay, so go ahead and decide which one is going to go where, and then we are going to go ahead and start. Okay, for pile number 2, we're looking at option number 1 for pile number 2, please. Option number 2 for pile number 2, please. Okay, we are going to get your other oracle cards ready. Option number 1 for pile number 2, please. Okay, option number 2 for pile number 2, please. Okay, so we are going to set these to the side, and we're going to look at these first. Okay, so for option number 1, we have love. So I feel for option number 1, you are going to love this option, or you're going to find love there, or possibly both. But I feel like it's definitely going to be a celebration for you. I feel like you know what I feel? I feel like you think you're going to love it, but there's a sense of hesitation there. Okay? That is something else that I'm getting here. I also feel like it could be written in the stars for you to take option number 1 for one reason or another. I'm getting some kind of emotional fulfillment with option number 1. So let's see what else we have. Fork in the road. Yeah. Remember I told you you're like in between 2 options. You can keep going the way you've been going, or you can go a completely different direction. And it's kind of causing you a bit of anxiety. You could be someone who doesn't like new things, who doesn't like change, who maybe you have a hard time meeting new people, and so you're feeling kind of like you would be alone. You're definitely at a fork in the road. We saw that here in some kind of transitionary period in your life, trying to decide between 2 options. Let's look at your other cards and see what else we have. Clam, discover happiness. Yeah, so pile number 1, I do see a lot of happiness. I see you ending up loving it, feeling glad that you took a chance, finding something unexpected too. I also see protection with option number 1. I get protection and guidance, and success. I'm also feeling success with option number 1. Leech, shift from fear to love. And look, you have love here too. 2 different decks, remember. Also look at all of this blue here. Interesting. Switch from fear to love. I mean, I feel like you might be holding yourself back a little bit from choosing pile number one, like option number one. I feel like your fear might be holding you back, but I feel like you going forward, you taking a leap of faith, you really communicating with yourself what is important to you. Is it more important for you to feel safe, or is it more important for you to take a chance and to move forward with option number one? Because so far I'm seeing that it could be an excellent choice for you. We're going to look at your tarot cards now. Okay, so, and we're going to look at these after we look at your tarot cards for pile number, or for option number one. Okay, Spirit, we are looking at option number one for pile number two, please. Option number one for pile number two, please. We have the Three of Wands. So with option number one, I feel like you putting a lot of effort into something. Let me look at this card real quick. Putting a lot of effort into something, feeling like it might not work out, feeling like you are taking a huge chance, but ultimately reaching success and ultimately loving what you're doing, or loving the that you took that chance, that you went down that road. And I feel like if you're patient, you will see success. You will see also that you're protected, and that I'm feeling like it all making sense. Like that's how you're gonna feel, like, oh, okay, it all makes sense now. I'm glad I chose this option. And we have the Chariot. Yeah, I feel like it's like, and see, you have the fork in the road and the cars here, and then you have a car with the Chariot. I feel like you choosing option number one will be liberating for you, because I feel like maybe you've never taken this kind of chance before. And so it would be, once you get past the initial shock of kind of taking a chance and doing something kind of out of character, I feel that you will feel liberated in the sense of, oh, it actually did turn out okay. I came out on the other side. It actually worked out really, really well. I'm so glad I took that chance. And then I feel like in the future, that's when you're shifting from fear to love. It's almost like, I love that. I want to do it again, you know, where you might gain some sort of sense of adventure or something. Okay, we have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, this is exactly what I was just saying. It's kind of you walking away from fear, something that's no longer working for you, and becoming more adventurous, becoming stronger, becoming more intuitive also, really getting in touch with where you want to see your life going, and not being afraid to take those steps anymore. Becoming very, very bold, bold about what you want, bold about where you're going, and also not wanting to go back to where you were before. So I see this option really kind of changing you quite a bit for the better. We have the Hierophant. So with the Hierophant, it's like your fork in the road is, do you want to stay on the safe side, which is where you've been, or do you want to take an adventure? Do you want to let go of some of your fear and kind of break your rules that you've had in your life? I feel like you might be a very structured person, or like I said, someone who doesn't necessarily like change. And so I feel like for you to create a change in your life, you would kind of be breaking your own rules And I think that once you do it, it would be kind of exhilarating. We have the Seven of Cups. I feel like you're very overwhelmed, first of all, with the different options, the different choices. I do feel that you need to be careful with any decision that you make. You need to make sure, first of all, that you don't rush into it, because I feel like that would make you even more nervous. So make sure that you look at every single detail about all of these options. I feel like with option number 1, there's some kind of happy surprise here. There is like things coming together, things making sense, you being glad that you took a risk. Now, the other thing that I get with the Seven of Cups is that you're terrified of what's on the other side of this decision. It could be good, it could be bad, you don't know. And I feel like you might be the type of person that's more comfortable in the knowing, even if you're uncomfortable in that knowing itself. So you're in a situation, it's uncomfortable, but it's more comfortable than it is to take a chance. Does that make sense? And so I feel like that could be where you're at. Like, even if you're in a situation that's less than ideal, and there's a possibility that the other option could be an amazing option for you, which would be even better than where you are, you would still rather stay where you are because it's comfortable, because you know it. Okay. And so that's what I'm seeing here, is that kind of fear. That's where that uncertainty comes from. But I'm feeling like if you break free from that fear, that's when you're going to start to have that sense of exhilaration and success and being happy that you took a chance. Okay, we have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is the victory card. This is doing something and being successful at it. Other people noticing your success. You celebrating your success. Other people celebrating your success. So I feel with this, it's like you're saying, I'm so glad I took that chance. Other people are saying, that was a great idea that you had. You ran with it. You took a chance. It's so good that you did. So I see this outcome. I see you having a little bit of fear that it's not going to work out, possibly a lot of fear that it's not going to work out. However, I see you becoming much stronger, much more adventurous, and coming out victorious, loving that you made that decision, and discovering that, oh, okay, I guess I can find happiness when I'm not in my little bubble, when I'm not afraid to take a chance. Okay, don't forget, shift from fear to love, and you have love here. Now, let's go ahead and look at your other cards. So this is going to be for option number 2. We have flying high. So with option number 2, flying high, I feel like you're comfortable. I feel like you're comfortable with this decision. For some reason, it just makes you feel more comfortable in the beginning. We'll see what else happens. We have injustice. Injustice came up in pile number 1. If that holds any interest to you, you might want to look at it. If not, don't worry about it. I feel with pile number 1, it's more comfortable, but eventually it will become unbalanced. Kind of like you'll be putting all your effort into something and you're not getting anything in return. So there's something about option number 2 that's it's okay. It's just not as fulfilling so far. We'll see what else your cards say, but I feel that regardless of what the cards say, once we lay out your tarot cards, I feel like you might always wonder what would have happened if I took that chance and went with option number 1. Spider, create magic. So I feel like there is kind of an unknown element with option number 2. I feel that you can be successful with option number 2, I definitely feel that. I feel like you will kind of create your success no matter where you are, no matter, you know, kind of where you land on this journey. I just feel like there seems to be, so, you know, with option number 1, we talked about you having uncertainty about what would happen. I'm kind of feeling that with option number 2 also. I'm feeling like certain things might happen or come up where you need to figure things out. Whereas with option number 1, it seems like maybe a little bit easier, or the answers just kind of pop up magically for you. And it might be more of an intricate process with option number 2. We have Eagle, trust your highest vision, which is so interesting that you have Eagle, trust your highest vision, and Flying High. Remember, these are 2 different decks here. So what is your, like, what are you feeling? So when you sit down with yourself, when you're quiet, when you're meditating, what are your spirit guides telling you? Because I'm feeling like, okay, remember I said that if you go with option number 2, you might always wonder what would have happened if you went with option number 1. So really tune into that. What are your spirit guides trying to tell you? What is your highest vision for yourself? Okay. Can you fly higher with option number 1 than you can with option number 2? Okay, because it could be the same type of situation where you can be successful no matter which direction you go, no matter which option you choose, but the road to get there might be easier or quicker with one option versus the other, which right now I'm thinking that option number 1 would have more to offer you. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at option number 2 now. Well, we already started looking at that. I'm saying let's look at your tarot cards for option number 2. Okay, what else can you tell us for option number 2, please? Okay. We have the 4 of Swords. So this is definitely a decision that you should think about. Definitely don't rush into anything. Make sure that you feel comfortable. Make sure that you've looked at every aspect of everything. And if you do choose option number 2, I feel like you'll be okay. Things will work out for you. I feel like they will both create a certain amount of stress for you, where if you go with option number 1, you're going to have a certain amount of stress because you've never done this before, you're out of your comfort zone. Option number 2, you're going to wonder if you made the right decision. Should I have taken a chance? Should I have just tried and seen what happened? So I do see that happening if you choose option number 2. Now, okay, this is interesting. This happened with pile number 1 as well. You have the Justice card and you have the Injustice card for option number 2. I feel like option number 2, something's going to happen where it's like there's some sort of difficulty that's going to happen with option number 2 that I don't see happening with option number 1. And you're going to have to work through this. You're going to have to fix this. You're going to have to write things. You're going to have to, when I say write, I mean get things balanced again. There are certain things that you might need to cut out of your life in order to create that balance if you choose option number 2. And I do see that you can fix the injustice, you can fix the imbalance, but I feel like you're really going to have to be possibly a little bit more careful, even though you have to be careful with option number 1 as well. But it's like you're going to really, really, really have to tune into your intuition with the second option here and make sure that everything is on the up and up, because something is not. Something's off balance here. And it could just be that if you go with option number 2, you're going to have a lot of regret and wish that you would have gone with option number 1. You might wish that you would have taken that chance. Okay. Yep. That's what it is. The Fool card. So if you go with option number 2, I feel that you would always wonder what would have happened if I would have taken option number 1. I feel like that's what's going to kind of create the imbalance. You'll still be successful with option number 2, but it's kind of like, what would have happened if I would have done things differently? What would have happened if I would have taken a chance and moved forward with that first option? What would have happened? To the point where you might end up walking away from option number 1, from option number 2 anyway, just so that you can see what option number 1 would have been like. Did I say that right? You might end up walking away from option number 2 so that you can see what option number 1 would have been like anyway at the end. We have the Emperor. I feel like option number 2 is the safer option for you. I feel like it's just a safer option for you. It's kind of like the way things have always been done, or the way you've always done things. And I feel like you'll definitely be successful with that option. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like trust your highest vision. I just get this feeling that at some point you're going to say, okay, well, I created this, I did this, but could it have been better if I went with the first option? And I see that you, again, I see like with this globe here, that at some point you might even expand into the first option because you want to maybe set your sights higher, or kind of see what you can do with this other option, if that's even possible. But I just see you kind of thinking about it, thinking about like the road that I didn't take. We have the High Priestess. I feel with option number 2, there's something missing. I feel that you would think, oh, if I was only patient with myself, I think I could have been okay with option number 1. I think I could have figured option number 1 out. I think that's what your intuition would be telling you, especially with trust your highest vision. There's just something that I'm feeling with option number 2 that you would always wonder what would have happened if I would have taken that chance and gone with option number 1. It's something about kind of knowing that it's for your highest good, for your spiritual growth. This option number 1 is. And wondering, well, did I reach my highest good with option number 2? Did I reach the level of success that I would have reached with option number 1? And I think that it's somehow tied to this injustice card here, that some kind of fork or some kind of bump in the road that you'd have to fix things, right? Because we have the Justice card here. So the injustice, you can fix it and you can move on from it. But what I'm okay, now it's coming to me. Once the injustice card happens in option number 2, that's where the regret comes in. Because look at that. After you fix the injustice card with the Justice card, that's when you have the Fool card thinking, oh, should I have gone with option number 1? Did I make the right decision? Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. And again, you'll still be successful with option number 2. I'm seeing that here, especially with the High Priestess card. But in addition to being successful with the High Priestess card, there's that lack of information where you're wondering, I don't know if I made the right decision. We have the Page of Cups. Yeah, the Page of Cups, see, with the Page of Cups, you don't quite have all of the information. There might be something that kind of surprises you. And I feel, so getting some sort of message. Hold on, let me see. What is this message? What is this message from the Page of Cups? You're getting a piece of information that was missing. Why am I really feeling like this is so similar to pile number 1? I'm just going to say it. It's very similar to pile number 1. You don't have to listen to it. Obviously, that's your choice. Because this message is very similar. It's kind of like the same feeling as pile number 1, where you go through this injustice, and this is why the energy is a little bit similar, because literally you have the same cards, the injustice and the justice card. You also have the Four of Swords. There might be other cards here. I think the Chariot. Anyway, what I'm feeling is that if you choose option number 2, okay, that at some point with this injustice card, and then when you fix that injustice, that is going to shift things and make you think, should I have gone with option number 1? And then I see you really kind of thinking about it, really thinking about it, which may lead you to the conclusion with the Page of Cups, which is the missing piece of information, the piece of missing information that we had with the High Priestess. You coming to the conclusion, should I still go with option number 1? So it might not be too late to still try option number 1. And that might be your decision. If you go with option number 2, you go through this, you go through some sort of injustice, hiccup, whatever it is, and you're so annoyed by that it kind of sparks you onto this thought process of, I think maybe I missed out by not going with option number 1. Let me explore that and see if I can still kind of from this point decide to choose option number 1. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I think that is everything here. Yeah, just really take some time to listen to yourself and like shift from the fear. Okay, so kind of get out of like your ego thinking, because the ego is where that fear comes in. And kind of shift to more of a psychic, intuition thought process as you make this decision. And use, both of those, because, our ego can still keep us in check, but really tune into your intuition as you're exploring both of these options here. So I hope that helps you out. If you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe. And if you would ever like to book a private reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck on this journey. I wish you all the luck. Thank you so much. Hello, pile number 3. You have the Snowflake Obsidian, and your card is Fairy Tales, Letting Go, Detachment, and Moving On. So the first thing I see with this card is that you are trying to break free from a relationship. That's definitely possible with the roses down here and obviously these two people. I feel that this could also mean that you are trying to break away from something that you've been attached to, which could be a place where you've been living. This could be a job. This could be walking away from a friendship. Really walking away from anything. I feel like a lot of you watching this, you are thinking about walking away from a relationship, like a romantic relationship. I feel like it's, whatever the situation is, I feel like it's been kind of dark and stormy for a while. Like we see the clouds here. I feel like you feel that if you stay in this situation, this person or this job, situation, whatever it is, will kind of pull you under. I feel like emotionally you've been feeling like stuck, emotionally drained, like you're feeling a sense of confusion, or at least you were. I think you've gotten to the point now where you have one foot in, one foot out, kind of more like 1 foot in, 1 foot half, or 1 foot out, another foot that's almost out as well. I really feel that you're just about walking out the door from a situation, but there's some sort of hesitancy there. And so we are going to look at your two options. So what I'm going to do is we pull your oracle cards. I'm going to pull cards for option number 1. Option number 1 for your oracle card is going to be over here. I'm also going to pull cards for option number 2, which I will lay out over here. But in the beginning, I'm going to set option number 2 off to the side. And then we're going to look at option number 1 first for your oracle cards. And then we're going to lay out option number 1, which would be your tarot cards down here. And then we're going to look at option number 2 oracle cards up here. And then we're going to lay out option number 2 tarot cards down here. So if you haven't already, this would be a good time to decide which of these two options that you have is going to be option number 1 and which is going to be option number 2. Okay, because we are going to now choose your oracle cards. So make sure that you have those options decided before we get started here. Okay, for pile number 3, we're looking at option number 1, please. Option number 1 for pile number 3. Option number 1 for pile number 3, please. Option number 2 for pile number 3, please. Okay, we're going to get your other oracle cards ready to go. Okay, option number 1 for pile number 3, please. Option number 2 for pile number 3, please. Okay, this is option number 2 here. We're going to set these to the side for now. Put them there so you can still see them. Okay, option number 1. We're going to start with this pile. Conflict, yes. Option number 1. I am definitely seeing conflict in this card. Literally going to blows, well, not quite literally, but well, maybe. And that would be quite unfortunate. So hopefully it hasn't gotten quite that bad. But what I originally meant was like arguing, fighting, having explosive arguments, if this is regarding a partner. This could also be not seeing eye to eye. This could be with a situation, this exact same thing going on, let's say at a job or something, not getting along, not seeing the other person's perspective. So definitely whatever type of relationship this is regarding, whether it's romantic or business or, you know, friend, whatever it is, a lot of conflict, a lot of darkness, a lot of arguing, a lot of talking and not being productive. And I don't see it really getting any better either, because this isn't productive. It's like you're both trying to win at all costs, and well, maybe not both of you. It's like it could be that the other person is trying to win at all costs and you're just trying to keep up, you know, and I think you've gotten to the point where you're starting to walk away. It's just not worth it to you anymore. And I'm seeing here that it's not worth it. Desire. I feel like you want things to work out. I feel that you are attached to what could have been, or what once was, that no longer is because of this conflict here. I feel that you probably still have feelings for this person, place, or thing, and that it's a very difficult decision for you. Very difficult. And I feel like you're wondering, is it ever going to get better? We have bull step forward. I'm seeing a couple things with the bull step forward. First of all, stubborn. I just said, is it ever going to get better? And when we get a stubborn card. And then below that it says step forward. Now, if we look at this card, stepping forward means that you're walking away from this situation here. So I feel like you want to stay, but you also want to step forward. Maybe you want to step forward and try to make things work. I think that's I feel like if in a perfect world, I feel like your decision would be to stay in the situation, make things work, and get back to the way you expected things to be, or the way that you wanted things to be. But there's something very, very stubborn going on here, which is the conflict. Whoops. Okay. So we have be and celebrate life. So what I'm seeing here is that there's a lot of conflict. Your desire, I'm seeing a couple things with the desire. I'm seeing that, first of all, you want to be happy. You also want to be happy in this situation, but I feel like I feel like your happiness in this situation is attached to what you hope it could be and not what it actually is. Then we have step forward. I'm feeling like step forward away from the stubbornness, away from the conflict, and celebrate life, because you're not celebrating life here. This is not a happy card. So I feel like it's not only stagnant, but it's damaging to your mental health, possibly your physical health. And Spirit is saying step forward and celebrate life. So step away from the conflict, step forward, celebrate life. What does your heart truly desire? What does your soul desire? Let's look at what your soul, what your spirit desires, because I'm pretty sure it is not this, which is conflict. Okay, let's go ahead and look at your tarot cards and see what else we can find out for pile number 1. Okay, pile number 1, please. What can you tell us about pile number 1? I feel like this one these need to come out. Okay, let's start here. So we have the Five of Pentacles. I feel with the Five of Pentacles that you've kind of, for a while, had, what is that word I'm looking for? Kind of a sort of trauma bonding with this person. I feel like you've almost gotten used to, possibly addicted to a cycle. So if this is a relationship, possibly getting addicted to the arguing, the conflict, and then making up, and then doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I feel like you may want to try to fix this person. You may have a very nurturing side to yourself, and you want to help this person. You want to fix them. You want to make them better. You want them to be the best that they can be. You want them to be the way that you see they could be. So it's almost like you may want them to make the decisions that you would make in this situation. Does that make sense? So I'm feeling like you see the potential of somebody, but they don't see the potential in themselves. They're not taking the steps, or they're not doing it quickly enough, or something's not lining up here. And so I feel like this first option is relating to you possibly staying in this situation. And with this first card, I'm seeing that there's a lack of growth with you doing that. I'm seeing you staying on the same level as this person. And by you trying to help this person, you're not exactly allowing yourself to grow because you're kind of stuck here. So that's what I'm seeing so far. Let's see what else we have. We have the Moon card. It's like, I feel like if this is relating to no matter what this is relating to, if it's a romantic relationship, or if it's kind of like someone wanting you to stay at like a job or something like that. I'm really feeling that most people watching this, though, this is going to be kind of a romantic relationship, but I do feel like some of you, this is relating to a situation. I feel like this other person or this other situation is not being 100% truthful. I feel like there could be some deception. I feel like that deception or lack of being transparent with you, I think that's going to move forward with you. I don't necessarily think that that's going to change. Part of the problem is that this person could be lying to themselves. This person could be partaking in some kind of substance that is altering their moods or altering the way that they treat you. So that can be part of the cycle where they're okay when they're not on these substances. And I'm not saying that applies to everybody, but I'm really getting that energy here where it's kind of sort of a back and forth energy where sometimes it's okay, other times it's not okay. And I think part of that is either like mood swings, or which could be from partaking in some kind of substance that kind of triggers this conflict in this relationship. It might change for a while, but I see like a slide back into that behavior here. There's something about this situation with number one, with option number one, that you're not seeing clearly, or the other person or situation is not presenting everything clearly to you. And it could be because perhaps this person or situation is withholding something, maybe withholding something from themselves. Therefore, you can't see the true picture. Okay, here we have the Knight of Wands. With the Knight of Wands, I feel like with this option, I feel like you want to step forward with this situation. In an ideal world, you would be able to take the situation and move forward with it because you still have a lot of feelings, you have a lot of passion, you have a vision for the situation that you would love to see come to life. However, with the moon card can sometimes talk about kind of living in a fantasy world, making up scenarios in your mind. And I'm kind of getting that feeling here that it's a fairy tale with the fairy tales here. And that, do you see here that I say you want to step forward, ideally with this person, with this thing, and ideally with positivity. But what I'm seeing connected to this is conflict. Your desire is to celebrate life with this person. I'm not sure that you're going to be celebrating much. So let's see what else we have here. Yeah, we have the Eight of Swords here. So I do see that you feel somehow attached to this person or this situation. Perhaps you've been with this person or situation for a long time. You feel obligated. You feel that you will be sad and depressed if you leave, and you'll be sad and depressed if you stay. So I'm feeling like with this particular option, you're still going to feel stuck. You're going to want to celebrate life and you're going to want to move forward, but you're still stuck. And you're not actually stuck, but you feel stuck. So in this particular situation, option number one, this feeling of stuck is not going to go away. Okay. And I feel that you will feel stuck in both scenarios for at least a period of time. Okay, let's see what else your cards say here. We have the Hermit card. I feel like if you choose option number one, okay, I feel like you will want to leave, but you're going to stay kind of out of sense of obligation, maybe even guilt. And I feel that you will find yourself going further and further inward, and you will find yourself continuing to try to figure it out. And I feel that you will continue to lose yourself. And do you see this card here? I don't see you celebrating life here. I see you even detaching from the conflict, but it's like you're still in it, but you're kind of detaching from it. So we started with detachment. So I feel like with this option, you're still feeling it. It's still around you. You have hopes that it could be different. Maybe you try for a little while and then you realize, you know what, I'm still stuck. And then it's kind of like you come back to the place of where we were in the very beginning. A place where a change needs to happen. One way or the other, something needs to happen because you can't keep going on like this. And with the Lion down here, and is that a bull right there? I think that's a bull. It looks like it. It looks like the bull here. So what I was going to say with the Lion here, it's like you gathering your strength to step forward. Okay. And you see there's steps here. So it's like you're about to take that step away from this situation anyway. But only after you've stayed in it for a while, because it looks like you're staying in it because of, you know, the conflict and the Five of Pentacles here. Because there's a solution here, but it's not being taken, which means that you're still stuck in that situation. So let's see what your card is. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles. There's some progress here. There's some progress. But there's also a lot of waiting. There's a lot of contemplating. There is not much movement, okay? There might be a little bit of movement. Here with the Knight of Wands, what I'm seeing is somebody saying, somebody being really, really excited, like, okay, I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to make this work. And almost manipulating the situation, especially with the Moon card. And then which gives you hope, which makes you think that you're stepping forward. And there is celebration, but it's short-lived, because then we're at the Eight of Swords, where it's like, wait a minute. I thought we had moved on from this. And then like I said, you're right back here, which is here, where you're about to break free. You're trying to get the strength to break free, but then you're still thinking, well, maybe things will change. Maybe if I give it more time, things will change. Okay, so with option number one, I'm not seeing a lot of growth. I'm not seeing a lot of movement. I'm not seeing, I'm just really not seeing a lot of change or moving on that we talk about here with this card. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at your other oracle cards. Now we're going to move on to option number two with these cards, okay? So option number two, we have something hidden. So I feel like with option number two, there's growth because you have the plant here. I feel almost like you're afraid to look at the potential growth of option number two. Because this could have something to do with change and moving on, letting go that we talk about here. But the only way to do that is to step outside of this curtain, to step away from something. And it almost looks like, so obviously this is a window here, but it looks like the person is looking this way. So they're looking inside the house or apartment, whatever this is. They're not looking outside, right? So there's something, it's like, I feel like with option number two, there's something that you wonder about, something that, there's growth there, but it's almost like there's a fear of seeing it or facing it or thinking about it. And then we have trust. Trust in what is hidden. So trusting in what you can't completely see, trusting in what is hidden from you. Moving forward without knowing the complete end result. Owl activates psychic insight. I think that's definitely a good idea because something's hidden from you. So really get in touch, Spirit is saying, really get in touch with your feelings, with your intuition, with your gut instinct, with option number two. Peacock, share your true colors. Now, I feel with share your true colors and with activate your psychic insight, I feel that this is referring to being truthful with yourself and living your truth, okay? Living your truth, not being afraid of what you can't see, speaking your truth. If you truly desire to walk away from the situation, letting go, moving on from it, this is speaking about being true to yourself, honoring yourself, trusting your instincts. Okay. Also, finding out the truth. Is there something, you know, what is it like? If you get this missing piece of information, would that help you to move on? Because Spirit, with this card, Spirit is saying already, before we even looked at anything, that it would be good for you to move on because the situation is toxic. It's not good for you. Okay, so let's now look at your tarot cards for option number 2. Option number 2, please, for pile number 3. The Seven of Swords. So I get with the Seven of Swords, I get a sense of guilt, or somebody putting a guilt trip on you. Leaving something behind. Feeling like, oh, I kind of have to sneak away from the situation. Feeling like intuitively with the moon here that you know that it would be best for you to walk away from the situation. But something manipulating you and trying to keep you there. So kind of like a guilt trip. We have the Star card. So remember I said with the peacock, share your true colors, speaking your truth. I feel mostly to yourself. Speaking your truth to yourself is the most important thing right now. More important than someone else's feelings. Now, let's look at this. Excuse me. Up here we have the Moon card with option number 1. Things are dark. You can't quite see what's going on. There could be some sort of manipulation, half-truths, things not exactly what they seem, hoping for the best, but not really sure that that's what's going on behind the scenes. And then option number 2, we have the Star card. This is you taking care of yourself. This is you healing yourself. This is you finding yourself again. This is you getting away from the conflict, getting away from the Seven of Swords, leaving a situation even though you were kind of being manipulated to stay in that situation. So this is also trusting that you will be okay. Trusting that you can move forward. Trusting that taking this leap of faith and leaving the situation behind, it's going to be okay. This is you finding yourself again. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Not only is this you finding yourself again, but I'm seeing a cycle coming to an end and a new cycle beginning. This new cycle is lighter, it's brighter, it's I feel like there might be a transition period where you have to process everything. Maybe you have to learn to trust again. See, where you need to process everything, that's something that's hidden, where you need to kind of process what you went through here with somebody who was, let me just say this, it's going to be a little blunt, but I feel like somebody was wasting your time and you walking away from that person or that situation, and that maybe not the whole thing was a waste of your time, but it became a waste of your time at the end, because it's like promises, 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 but no action. There might have been action for a short period of time, but then it was kind of right back to where you started. Okay, and so processing that you think you wasted your time getting closure with this something hidden. So I feel like there might be, with option number 2, kind of a transition period where you're figuring things out, you're healing from this previous situation, and then it's like you're kind of reawakening to yourself, to who you are, who you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to be directing your energies, and then moving on from that point and really kind of starting to celebrate your life again and feeling a sense of freedom from the burden and the conflict that was up here. We have the Page of Swords. Yes, seeing things clearer, getting a clearer understanding what this hidden thing is here. So I'm also getting like a sense of closure, a sense of, oh, okay, I understand now that there was something going on. So sometimes the Page of Swords can talk about kind of like something underhanded going on, something that that's not quite on the up and up, okay? Which is what I get with the Seven of Swords and the Moon card in this particular reading. So it's almost like realizing that this was the best option for you, that had you gone with number 1, that it's like here you're realizing that this person or situation was kind of manipulating you, was manipulating their words, the way they were talking to you, and really was keeping you kind of tied to this person or this situation out of greed or selfishness of the other person. And so I see you, once you break away from that, I see that's when you start to see what was really going on. Like you already see it, but it's like I feel like you can't see the whole picture with this card until you actually break free. Because see here, you're still in the situation here and you can't see because there's a blindfold over your eyes. And then once you get out of the situation, there is something hidden here still. But then once you start to heal yourself, then you really start to see the situation for what it was. Okay. And again, this can be for a relationship. This could be for a situation, a job, a friendship, whatever it is. I'm just feeling like it's more dominant of a relationship, of some sort, which could be romantic, friendship, you know, a boss that's horrible, something like that. And so it's all becoming clearer here. Okay, then we have the Knight of Wands, which is very interesting because that's what we have right here. The difference is, you have the Knight of Wands here. Hope, you think you're moving forward, but you're really not. You're still stuck. So in option number 1, you think you're moving forward because of something someone tells you. The way something is presented to you, you think you're moving forward. You think there's hope. You're excited about it. But quickly you realize, wait a minute, nothing actually changed. And then you're feeling like, oh God, did I make the right decision? I'm really feeling stuck here, okay? Now, what's happening differently with option number 2 is that you get this clarity, okay? Here, there's no clarity. Here, there is. But the thing is here, in option number 2, is that once you get this clarity, once you understand this thing that was hidden from you, that's when you move forward, and you're really moving forward now in option number 2. It's like I see you moving on with your life here. I see you definitely healing from the situation because I think that's necessary, whatever that means to you. Whether it's therapy, getting acupuncture, going for a walk, taking a salt bath, reading a book, whatever it is, I definitely see you taking some time out for self-care, whatever that means to you. That could even mean going shopping, you know, literally whatever that means to you. Getting understanding, getting closure, and moving on with your life. And then we have the Empress card. Quite a big difference between option number 1 and option number 2. Option number 1, I see you trying to take care of this other person and not necessarily taking care of yourself. I'm seeing that you have hope, that you want to step forward and you want to celebrate life with this person or this thing, but it's not really happening. Okay? Option number 2, I see you taking care of yourself. I see you putting yourself first. I see you trusting that things are going to work out in your life. I see you really listening to your intuition, following your intuition, letting go of what no longer serves you, being true to yourself. And because of that, I see you coming back to who you are, coming back to who you should be. I see you have healed yourself, you've healed your body, your emotions, your mind, and you're strong now, and I feel like you've learned a hard lesson here, but going forward, you will cautiously trust people moving forward instead of kind of blindly trusting people up here. So I think I've covered everything. Let me see. Was there anything else with the Empress card? Okay, there's one more thing here with the Empress card. There's a lot of growth here, personal growth. Things are happening. You've already grown. And with the Seven of Pentacles and option number 1, you're still waiting for growth. It's almost a slow, painful process here. So option number 2, you're taking care of yourself and you're moving on and you're healing and you're seeing that your luck is changing and that I'm feeling like your life with option number 2 is like blossoming and you're getting color back. See, there's really not a lot of color here, but look at your peacock card here. There's a lot of color here. There's growth, there's beauty here. And here there's just kind of stagnation. So I hope that helped you. I really wish you luck with this situation. It does seem like it's quite a difficult thing that's going on. So I wish you luck. I wish you strength. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you would ever like a private reading, you can you will find my website in the description box below. Thank you so much.